Recording. Hey, what's going on YouTube? Belton here, coming with you guys with my first mirror craft of the league. Going to be doing a chest today with the new essence that was introduced with this patch, the Essence of Delirium, which does upgrades a normal item to magic or a magic item to rare with one random notable passive as a modifier. Can only be used on body armor. Now notables are these ones on the tree, so the ones that you can anoint on an amulet. There are 382 total notables. Notables are a prefix, and as it said, it can only be used on body armor. So what we're doing that for base-wise is a sleek jacket. Sleek jackets are evasion and energy shield hybrid bases. They have the highest base evasion and energy shield. There are other ones that have implicits that are quite strong, but anytime there's an implicit on a piece of armor, it means that the base attributes or the base defenses of it will suffer as a result. So for example, where did I put them? Sorry. Here. You can see this body armor with the chaos resistance here. The Rambler jacket, which is still quite good. That's got that tier 1 evasion and energy shield on it, which is 455, whereas if you look at one here, it's 544, right? And so since we're trying to make a 3-2-1 / mirror armor, the base defenses are preferable in that situation. Now, one of the things I did to prepare these is make 30, we're aiming to do 30 chests at once. And you can see here that I've got 30 chests that I meticulously crafted to be tier 1, either tier 1 evasion and energy shield or tier 1 flat evasion and energy shield, because our desired final chest will be evasion energy shield flat, evasion energy shield percent, and the notable. All right. The maximum roll for that result, if it were divined perfectly, would be 1,228 evasion, 464 energy shield, and a notable passive. So I did a little like FAQ here that I'm going to read through quickly, just as a preamble to the craft, and then we're going to do the actual craft live here. So why would we pick the evasion and energy shield base? And that's because pure evasion has to be combined with either life or energy shield. And while life is more popular early on, it falls off later with investment. Energy shield is by far the better choice at later gears of level and progression. Furthermore, evasion, and life would require 3 prefixes, making the notable impossible to include. Also, while more people might be life-based at the moment, a mirror craft intrinsically is going to be targeting hyper late stage gearing, so crafting to a short-term market that is basically non-existent would obviously be foolish. Now, the next question that I get asked a lot, why would I choose to mirror craft a chest instead of something like a spear? And fracturing orbs in PoE 2 have 0 downside. In Path of Exile 1, if you're going to use a fracture, it comes at the cost of not being able to influence or synthesize that item. They are mutually exclusive with those. Fractures can only be paired with Eldritch items, which makes the crafting of those mirror items so easy that there is basically no mirror market for Eldritch items in PoE 1, as it's cheaper to craft a perfect item using Eldritch and Fracture from scratch than it is to mirror one. Therefore, people don't really justify doing so. In PoE 2, conversely, having a fractured mod has absolutely no downside, since there are no influences and there is no synthesis. And it was already very, very easy to mirror craft in PoE 2, when you're using Witlings and Dextral and Sinestral Erasures and the other one, which is the Annulments. It was expensive, yes, right? But basically deterministic if it's done properly. For those of you that watched me craft last league, you'll note that I finished like 10 mirror crafts in the first 2 weeks of the league, working basically by myself. I had one partner after my 3rd project or something like that. You'll note that TFT had like 140 mirror items by the end of it, and there were multiple occasions where I would demonstrate that you could craft items to a mirror state, so perfect mods all across, in less than 2 minutes if you had a sufficient amount of omens. Now, having a fracture on that just makes it infinitely easier, because you can fracture the rarest mod, and then you could basically just use a chaos orb, right, to get your 2nd modifier. And as long as that 2nd modifier is a higher item level than your 3rd modifier, you can then get 3 tier 1 deterministically with basically 0 effort, especially since omens were duped and are incredibly cheap at the moment. Now, since PoE 2 has the fractured mod has no downside, it is expensive. Sorry, this means in the long run. As a result of what I just said, in the long run in the league, Basically, any and all mirror crafting teams will likely make a spear, similar and to a greater extent of how bows were in the first early access league, where there were over 15 mirror bows. This will likely include a free service one, and I say free with loose terms there, that is eventually crowdsourced from a streamer in his community. Therefore, making one might have some short-term prestige and potential profit to it, but it'll unlikely be a sound long-term investment. Conversely, there are 382 total notables in the game, and there are very few essences of Delirium available. In fact, if I look right now, you'll see that there are 2 essences available on the entire trade site. One is 85 exalts, so just under 2 divs, and the other one is 2 divs. So on that basis, you can see that I have over 90% of the total supply of these essences. But because there are 382 total notables, the likelihood of anyone being able to replicate the same chest is basically 0, and it still requires fracturing the exact modifier, the notable that is, since the whittling would remove it otherwise once you're just doing the prefixes. This means that it would take 1,528 essences, item level 82 bases, and fractures on average just to hit the same fracture, let alone finish the rest of the craft. The evasion energy shield chest base can further be used by most high-end builds in the game, including Amazons. It also pairs perfectly with Invoker's Spirit per ES and evasion node, the +1 per 12 energy shield evasion, or sorry, the +1 energy shield per 12 evasion node on the tree right here, and the 100% increased evasion on your body armor node. There are other semi-universally desirable notables that will essentially make the finished craft one of a kind and desirable to more than 50% of the player base, 44% of which are currently Amazons, according to PoE 2 Ninja. Yeah, so it's more of a long-term play. It's having some foresight to this. Why not just use the essence and then fracture right away? Like, why did I bother putting all of this, these tier 1s on? So the essence alone, as I just pointed out, costs 1 div on average, sometimes more, as you can see there. And the item level 82 body armors are very limited at this stage of the league. Furthermore, if I were to just get any random chest and just use the just use the essence and go for a 1 in 4 fracture, 75% of those would basically be bricks and be worthless. By putting tier 1 flat or percentage energy shield and evasion onto the magic item first, as I have here, since this essence of Delirium can either be used as a regular essence or a greater essence, meaning it can be used to make an item magic or a magic item to rare, by using it for the latter, so to turn that item rare, it effectively gives us a 50% hit rate on our subsequent fracture, since we're going to have 2 desirable tier 1 modifiers as opposed to 25. And that's because a fracture has to have always 4 modifiers on it. Furthermore, the evasion energy shield percentage is an item level 82 mod, meaning that if that fractures and it has a desirable notable, sorry, this is somewhat of a contingency here, but on PoE DB2, it says that the item level of this is 1. I'm not sure if the essence, I didn't want to waste an essence just to test this without doing it ahead of time. I'll be able, obviously, to see this on the very first one. But if the item level of the essence mod is item level 1, that means in order to finish the craft, you're either going to have to YOLO the 3rd prefix into a tier 1, or the Delirium prefix will have to be fractured in order to finish it. If it is a higher item level, though, it does mean that if you fracture the item level 82 modifier, it will allow you to mirror craft the chest subsequently, basically deterministically, right? So like this one here, if I fracture this, it's got a crappy notable. I could just roll off the notable, annul it down to the point that there's only 1 prefix on it, or sorry, 1 additional mod, and then I can just chaos orb spam until I hit the 2nd highest item level prefix, at which point I can deterministically roll the 3rd one. If the notable is bad, you can simply remove it, as I said. And if you want to go for a 3T1 evasion energy shield, so like evasion energy shield hybrid, and evasion energy shield flat, that would have a total of 1,568 evasion and 594 ES. Since I have pre-prepared 30 tier 1 magic chests, on average, we're going to hit 7.5 notables with fractures, 7.5 energy shield evasion tier 1s that fracture, and then we'll have 15 bricked ones. It is also possible, right? So since we're going to have 2 prefixes guaranteed, that means that we're going to get to exalt And this is why I purchased this one here, which makes the Exalted Orb guaranteed at a prefix. So there's actually a possibility, since this one's always going to add a notable, that we might actually just exalt into 3 tier 1 without even having to use a fracture. It's like a 1 in 55 chance, so we have a little over 50% chance of actually hitting a mirror, now depending on what the notable is, of hitting a mirror base without even having to fracture. On top of that, fracturing a tier 1 mod is probably going to be worth 20 plus divs per, and so we can recuperate a decent amount of our costs, selling off the fractures for the ones that we don't end up using. Another reason for this too is because, and the reason why I'm doing a big batch of them instead of just doing a couple at a time, I hate how it keeps doing this, is because there are so many notables. Obviously, I don't want to like fracture the first notable we hit. If I were doing them one at a time, get it real excited, get ahead of myself, and then invest a bunch into something, only to hit like a literal perfect fracture on like the 5th one and having wasted all of that. This will just obviously give us a greater deal of insight. On top of the 30 that I have prepared here, which all have tier 1 mods on them, I do have actually quite a few that hit also tier 2 here. So these are, you can see 100% ones. And then I have almost an entire tab of ones that have tier 1 hybrid on them. And I have a couple other ones that are on off bases here as well, including this one there. And as you can see, I obviously have 63 Essences of Delirium and 93 Fracturing Orbs, so we have a little bit of an overshot. So if we don't hit anything perfect here, it's also possible we could hold on to actually mirror crafting, just sell off this batch, and then keep going. So in terms of the overall cost of what we got to here, the chest bases, and I'm just going to be referring to the 30 batch that we're going to be doing at first. The chest bases were 8x each, and we have 30 of those, so 240 exalts. The essences were 45x each, times 30 is 1,350x. The fracturing orbs were 5x each times 30, which is 150x. And then to get tier 1 on each chest, to augment from a magic base, so like if you were to buy a magic base, because there's not nearly enough normal ones for sale, if you were to get one like this, and then you were to just annul it and augment, it would take, if you were augmenting only prefixes, it would take 32 augments on average to hit either tier 1 flat or percent. But because 50% of the time you're going to have to annul the suffix, because you're going to obviously get that as well, that means that it would take 48 augments and 48 annuls on average to get one chest to the tier 1 state. So that's 48 annuls times 3x each, and then times 30 chests, which is 4,328 exalts. Now that obviously seems like a very high cost, but as I said, as a result of that, we're going to get 7.5 fractures of a tier 1 mod. At a baseline bare minimum, you'd be able to probably get 20 divs per. So that by itself would be like 140 divs approximately on the back end, which is, even though it had a much higher upfront cost, on the back end, it's a much better EV play. Not to mention it opens options with different crafts. Now the Sinestral Exaltations that we have here, 30 of those are 1 exalt each, so 30x there. And then obviously we have to use 2 exalts afterwards to make it 4 mods before using the fracture, so 30 times 2 is 60x. That means for the 30 that we'll be attempting here, that is 6,150 exalts and 137 divines total, which means that each chest per attempt is 4.56 divines. And then I also have some extras here. As I pointed out, we've got 33 extra essences, which is 33 divs, 63 extra fracturing, which is 7 divs, 27 extra bases, which is 4.8 divs. And so in total, that is 44.8 divines. And then I have, which brings our total to 181.8 divines. Cash on hand of 17 divs means that this crafting session in its totality, if I'm to use everything, will total 198.8 divines, or just under 200 divs. But sticking to the first 30, it'll be 137 divs. All right, so that brings everyone up to up to speed here. And with that being said, we are now prepared to start. Wish me luck, gentlemen. Allocates shear Lecter's P's. Blade Flurry. Ooh, nice. Supportive Ancestors. Projectiles have a 75% chance to split when forking. Ooh, Dynamism is really good. 40% damage if you've triggered a skill, Meta skills gain 15% energy. That's a dope one. Refocus. Energy shield recharge rate. Heavy frost. Freeze buildup. Hits ignore non-negative elemental res on frozen enemies. That's good. Reaving. Attack speed with one-handed weapons and 15 dexterity. Ooh! Wrapped quiver. That's very good. Prod speed and accuracy at close range. Targets can be affected by one poison at the same time. Ooh. Spell damage per mana. Crit bonus that have exited your presence. Regenerative flesh. Minions recoup. Elemental damage if you've chilled an enemy recently. Heart stopping. Ooh, heart stopping is very good. Crit and intelligence. Oh, unnatural resilience. 5 all res and +1 max res for 40 uncapped. Quarterstaffs that consume a power charge count as consuming additional power charge. Shock duration and magnitude of shock. Freeze duration and freeze threshold. Crossbow reload speed. Damage penetrates 15% fire and 10 strength. Holy shit, split the earth! Dude, I hope this one hits for my sake. This is like one of the best notables in the game. It's typically always done by armor-based builds. But for Mjolnir, this would be fucking insane. Oh man, I hope that one hits for my sake. Echoing Flames, 30% elemental damage if you've ignited an enemy recently. Regenerative Flesh. Wow, we hit that one twice. Cut to the bone. Break armor on critical spells. Inflict bleeding and physical damage. Power Within. Ooh, Power Within's good. Critical damage bonus if you gained a power charge recently and +1 power charge. Companions gain your dexterity +15 dex. Bleeding, aggravation on jagged ground, and jagged ground duration. Ooh, Maiming Strike. Maiming Strike is so good. Attack damage. Okay. Alright. So, now we're just going to do this. So this part is actually very consequential, guys, because this means that we could technically hit 3T1. We did hit 3T1 right here. That's 3T1. That's 3T1. Oh! Guys, we just hit 3 tier 1 with the equipped quiver mod. Holy fuck. Okay. Wow. Wow. Saying Deadeye is bad is insane. You know there's Amazons that use bows too, right? Okay. Oh my god! We hit another one. uh, 15% fire pen and 10 strength. Okay, we keep going. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! And it's perfectly divine! It's perfectly divine! And it's careful aim! And it's careful aim! Oh my god! Oh my god. Careful aim is insane. Insane for a lot of people. I told you my preparation and all my fucking fussiness ahead of time was a good idea. No way! Oh my god! Bro, that's dynamism. I'm playing the owner. I'm saturating the market with completely unique notables. That makes sense. Holy fuck, boys. Oh, oh my god! It's tier 2, but still. +1 poison. Holy cow. That's going to be a hell of a fracture. Oh, T1 life. All right, so we hit 4 of them. I can't believe, guys, we hit 4. It's a 1 in 58, and we hit 4 of them. And that's before using the fucking fracture. I am beyond words right now, gentlemen. You know what's insane about the dynamism one too, right? The dynamism one, right, where you get meta skills gain 15% energy, right? And this chest is very well used on Invoker because of the Lead Me Through Grace, and they get 35% more energy. Oh, talk about synergy. Oh. This one is just insane too. Where is it? The Wrap Quiver is insane, and Careful Aim is like absurdly good. Like, these are all very good. Okay. So now, all of these are now 3T1 prefix. So now we need to make them 4 modded, right? Wait, how does this one have 4 mods on it? Okay, well, this one already has 4 mods. Look, it doesn't show you a tier or an item level on these. That's also, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's also got 4 mods. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh shit, I added a 5th mod on this one by accident. Okay. So I guess the Regal can add a mod to it as well. Well, if it had a suffix, then it should have 3 mods. But I guess the Essence can add an additional mod too. Oh no, sorry, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because of the Exalt. Right. No, sorry, he's right. Because the first, we would have had the Essence, and then I did the Exalt for the prefix. Yeah. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're just looking for ones that only have 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one needs a 4th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there was one of them I slipped up on. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Those ones. Yeah, so this one I'll remove a suffix later. All right. So then these ones are all just fracture. Boom, tier 1. Boom. Boom! 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 What the fuck? Tier 1. 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 Yes! Split the earth! Split the earth! Tier 1. Tier 1. How many of these did I hit? How many of these did I hit?
That was insane.
I hit 18 out of 24. Okay, how many of them did we hit the notable? We hit the notable 9 times. We hit 4 triple tier 1s. Then we hit tier 1 percentage twice. Tier 1 flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And then we hit tier 1 hybrid once. And then we hit tier 1 life once. Which ones did we fracture? Minions recoup life. Freeze duration and freeze threshold. Hard stopping, which is insane. Power conduction, shock duration, and shock magnitude. Minion recoup. Oh my god, we fractured regenerative life twice. Split shot, additional projectile when forking. Split the earth, which is fucking just insane for me. And reaving for Mjolnir, split the earth. And reaving, which is attack speed and dexterity, and decisive retreat, crit bonus that have exited your presence recently. And then for the ones where we fractured the percentage, we've got 2 of those bad boys. Then we've got 5 of them with the other tier 1 fracture, and then 2 of the tier life. I can't believe 4 of them hit triple tier 1 already. So these 4 are already done the prefixes. Wow, this is going to be a hell of a video to post. YouTube boys, that was a fucking treat. Let's see if we can find a single one that has a fracture on it. And what's this chest called again? What's the name of the chest base? Sleek jacket. Item level 82. Corrupted. No. Oh. All right. $43 divs. 43 divs for the fracture. That's the one that I hit 5 times. There's not a single one with the fracture. Oh my god. Okay, guys, so just to recap, on our first Exalt, we hit triple tier 1 with Dynamism, triple tier 1 with Careful Aim, triple tier 1 with Wrapped Quiver, triple tier 1 with Breath of Fire. Then we hit tier 1, tier 2 with Stacking Toxins. We fractured successfully 9 separate notables. We fractured successfully 2 tier 1 ES and evasion percents. We fractured successfully 5 tier 1 evasion and energy flats. These are the ones that we just saw that were 43 divs each. And then we successfully fractured a hybrid with life and a tier 1 life. I can't fathom how much money we just made there. As I said, our cost for that was about 137 divs. I would say that each one of these is worth more than that probably. We'll see what happens. This was, I'm not being hyperbolic, this is perhaps the greatest crafting session I have ever recorded in a single sitting. I hope you people on YouTube enjoyed it. 36 minutes, wow, this is actually shorter than most of my videos. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, drop a sub. I'm like 100 subs away from 40K. And you know, as a child, I aspired to have my Warcraft collection match my subscriber count of my gaming video channel. So let's get that to 40K. Wow, I'll do a follow-up on this, guys. That is well in excess of what I expected. As I said, it's a 1 in 58 just to hit the tier 1, and we did that by itself 4 times, right? We were expecting 7.5 fractures on the notables. We got 9 of them, and 7.5 fractures on the tier 1s, and we got 9 of those. So that's just insane. We did 30 chests and only 7 of them were not hits, and of those 7, one of them is one that I didn't, so really just 6. So 24 successes, 6 failures. Wow, what a day. All right, guys, I'll see you soon, YouTube. Cheers.